sunny, a little on the chilly side, especially with the wind blustering. But we know where temperatures are headed from here. We do have a ridge of high pressure making its way in, and that's going to give us warmer conditions throughout much of the work week. A low that comes in for the weekend gives us another chance of some precipitation, but indeed temperatures are still expected to go definitely into the 60s and upper 60s by early next week, and no complaints here. No complaints here at all. It's been one of the lightest, mildest winters, which is still not over as of yet, but winter's not in the forecast. I can at least assure you of that. Today was not the way you wanted to start off forest fire hazard season for McGoffin Fire Departments and the Division of Forestry. I'll take you outside of that scene in just a few moments. In a viewing area, a man arrested on sexual related charges involving a minor or performance portrayed in matter by a minor. We'll have more on that in just a few seconds as well. An update on last night's McGoffin County and Pikeville matchup, an update on some other news and information as well. I, towards the end of the program, drew a comparison as I had a picture that I was able to get my hands on rather easily. One taken on February the 12th of 2015, right around Valentine's Day, a heart that I carved in the snow on the front porch of the studio. Well, this weather comparison goes a bit beyond that, but it's one forever etched in our memory, and certainly that of the crews and the companies who basically had their ways of working changed forever. 14 years ago today, 1.25 to 1.5 inches of ice fell on parts of Kentucky, definitely the central part of our state. 300,000 people without power, some for days and days and weeks for some in some areas. 3,000 utility poles which were just destroyed by heavy ice that coated basically everything in its path. And then here we are today on the same day, 14 years later, albeit a lot of sunshine above, temperatures on the chilly side, but certainly a nice day by comparison. One we hope we never see the likes of that again. A viewing area man is in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center programming, reaching the Lawrence County area, where a man from Fallsburg, a 43-year-old man, is jailed on counts of distribution of matter, portraying a sexual performance by a minor, as well as possession of those same images. It's all part of an investigation by the Kentucky State Police, a tip that led them to execute a search warrant at the residence of a 43-year-old Timothy Scott, who once again lives in Lawrence County. Acting on a cyber tip, the Kentucky State Police tells me, and they also say that they did so arresting this man on child sexual exploitation charges. 43-year-old Timothy Scott of Spankham Cat Fork Road in Fallsburg was arrested. He was lodged in the Big Sandy Jail last night at 7 o'clock by Trooper Lane of the Kentucky State Police. All they can tell me at this time is that the cyber tip involved possession and distribution as well of images, matter portraying sexual performances by minors. Minors plural, it says. There was an investigation that began after the tip, and it led them to a search warrant that they were able to get for Scott. He lives in Fallsburg, and they were able to go to his home and collect various items of evidence, which are not listed in the report that I have, but they were able to take those items into their possession for analysis and thus charge him with distribution of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor, first offense, as well as possession of matter portraying sexual performance by a minor. No other details from the Kentucky State Police per their investigation, which is still ongoing, as is their search for a McGoffin County man. A man who fled on foot and hit the hill behind a Trace Branch residence on 460 near the McGoffin-Morgan County line. It was Monday morning of this week, as I told you, that 911 received a call around 7:30 that morning from a female alleging that she had been held against her will throughout much of the overnight, and at one point it even shot a male in the stomach or torso area. Kentucky State Police, several units arrived on the scene, and at the same time that they did, a man fled the scene, and so same man who was supposedly shot. All they can confirm to me is all they have thus far, still to this hour, is that they could not confirm that someone had been shot, and that they had not been able to confirm that a weapon was even fired per their investigation. But they do know that they were able to charge a McGoffin County man with assault in the second degree for the beating of a woman who was taken to the hospital, we believe, for her injuries. And they're still searching for 30-year-old Marcus E. Sparks with that warrant in hand for assault in the second degree. No other updates on the case as of right now, but just simply passing this information along to you. Again, if you have any details that you can share with the Kentucky State Police, they do not have to have your name, but you can relay anything that you would like to them at 433-7711. That's the number that will get you directly to Post 9 in Pikeville. I'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Weather conditions, albeit improving and what are going to be certainly nice, are also going to be conducive to forest fires. Today officially kicking off forest fire hazard season in the state of Kentucky. It runs through the end of April, a busy first day of the season for local fire personnel. Those crews being the North Magoffin Fire Department, Sagersville Fire Department, the Division of Forestry, and possibly some other units and departments responding as well. This was Tackett Hollow on Route 40, just a few miles out of Sagersville. I had winds upwards of 17, 25 mile per hour gusts today. You can see what they were doing to fuel this fire, which had started. The way it started is still under investigation, I am told. We do know that both sides of the hollow were on fire. It did threaten a mobile home. You can see the structure there just to your left. Fire departments and crews were able to keep it from damaging that structure or any others. There was also an oil well in the area that had to be shut down for a period of time by the drilling company to make sure that it stayed safe and everyone was safe and sound in that perimeter. I haven't been able to speak with Chris Adams of the Division of Forestry as of yet. Crews were still on scene while I was coming in here to produce the show, and this was just some few brief video clips that were brought into the studio. But forest fire hazard season does begin today. That means no burning from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening whatsoever. And after what we've already seen to be a rather wet winter, it will not take long. And as you can see, there's already dry foliage there on the ground and burning quickly, so it doesn't take long for it to change in just a matter of a few days. And with the temperatures and winds that we have in the forecast, it could get much worse throughout this week, the first week of this 2017 forest fire hazard season. We'll talk to officials more about this fire and the situation on tomorrow's show. And we've got temperatures, as we've already covered, and as we will go into much more detail in just a few moments, that are going to continue to climb. We'll also see light winds, as you're about to see in your forecast, be a common thread throughout most of the entire forecast period. So indeed, it's starting off on what could be a dangerous note, so keep that in mind, certainly. We'll have more on your weather forecast in more detail in a few moments. Right now, birthdays. I've got several birthdays again, starting off tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. That's right. Best birthday wishes going out tonight to Linda Literal. Love your kids, your grandkids, and Nene Puckett as well. Happy birthday, Linda. We hope you've had the most wonderful of birthdays this week. And a happy 9th birthday, it says, going out to Austin Cole. Love Memaw and Sissy. Austin, happy birthday to you. He's 9. That's a big one, Austin. Happy birthday. And I don't know if this young man knows it or not, but there's a kangaroo on his shoulder. I'm pretty sure he does. Clay Perkins, happy birthday to you from Papa and Mama and a host of family and friends, too. Happy birthday tonight to Clay Perkins. Going on to announcements, are you not ready to hang your boots up yet? Well, if you are 55 years of age or older and would like to supplement your income, now is the time to discover what the Senior Community Service Employment Program can do for you. You get up to 15 hours a week of part-time employment in community service, job training, and related educational opportunities for placement in
unsubsidized jobs. To be eligible, all you got to do, once again, be 55, a family or individual with an income not exceeding 125% of the federal poverty guidelines, a resident of Kentucky, and eligible to work in the U.S. That's it. Contact your local Big Sandy area community action program here in Sagersville at 349-2217 if you're interested in finding out more. And don't forget, food boxes are to be distributed tomorrow here at our McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. That starts at 12:30. And this is the month that everyone, Marlene says, has to recertify. So they ask that you bring in proof of income for everyone in the household. And they're also going to be going to Frankfort this Friday for an AARP rally to help secure funding for the senior program. So all the boxes have to be picked up tomorrow because they will not be at the Senior Center on this Friday. So tomorrow, 12:30, and you have to recertify this week. And they're helping with Life Beyond Breast Cancer. This is a free workshop. There's two of them for women breast cancer survivors. They're going to have two. One's going to be at the Carter Caves State Resort Park on March the 18th. The other will be at the Natural Bridge State Park on March the 25th. Lasts, I think, from 9 to 5 on both days. Sponsored by the Kentucky Breast Cancer Trust Fund, the Kentucky Cancer Program, Horses and Hope, and the UK Markey Center, and others. You have to register, and registration has to be done by the 4th for the 18th event at Carter Caves. Regardless, it's the same number to register for either one. So whichever one you choose, call as soon as you can. 679-7204. They're going to have a complimentary lunch, door prizes, and gifts, and all kinds of tips for healthy living as a breast cancer survivor. And next Tuesday, the Alzheimer's Association is going to have a legal and financial planning education program for you or someone you know who might be affected by Alzheimer's or dementia. It's next Tuesday for just an hour. It starts 11 o'clock that morning at your McGoffin County Extension office with attorney and guest speaker Christy Goff from the Appalachian Research and Defense Fund of Kentucky. Registration is also required, and there's a toll-free number at the bottom of your screen to do so, 800-272-3900. And I'll probably not mention this one for a while because it's not until the 25th. I'll get back into it next week, but one more time this week. Don't forget about the next upcoming Kentucky Chautauqua Series, an evening with Mr. and Mrs. Robert E. Lee here at the McGoffin County Health Department. It's free for anyone who wants to come. 2 hours that evening. A wonderful, wonderful evening brought to you by the McGoffin County Civil War Committee. And for birthdays and anniversaries and those announcements like you just heard, this is how you get them on the program. Just tell me. We'll tell everyone about them. And turning to funeral service announcements, a service provided by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. 78-year-old Dolores Dale Benton Perkins of Sagersville passed away on yesterday, married to James Perkins, who survives. She's also survived by sons Randall, Ronnie, and Jeffrey, and a daughter, Carolyn Sprague. Visitation is going to be after 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and then up until services, which start Friday morning at 11. Visitation and services, both from the McGoffin County Funeral Home, with burial following at the Perkins Cemetery at Grape Creek.
Some honors to be bestowed last night before tip-off of the last game for the Hornets. That's right, they were hosting Pikeville last night. Last game of the regular season, of course. And we knew it was going to be a tough one going in. The Hornets traveled to Pikeville on the 17th of January and brought back an L for the column. A 73-56 loss for the McGoffin County Hornets. But they were going in last night, once again, facing a very tough Pikeville team, which currently sits, according to Kentucky High School Athletic Association, just above McGoffin County in 15th region standings. First off, some special recognitions last night, beginning with senior band members Jennifer Newsom and Caston Keaton, both recognized and honored alongside their family and friends. And this man, no stranger to center court this season, already recognized when he reached his 2,000th point and his 2,500th last night. Trenton Russell receiving honors for his 1,000th rebound obtained this season. From there, after the tip, Pikeville was the first to put points up on the board with their first three of the evening, and they went on to outscore McGoffin County in the first quarter, 18-17.
And Pikeville still had a handle on the Hornets in the second quarter, outscoring them 14-9 for a 26-32 Pikeville halftime lead. But in the third quarter, the Hornets turned it around, adding 20 to Pikeville's 13, which put them up by 1 at the end of the third, 46-45. And after a 15th region battle, both teams chalked up 17 points apiece in the fourth and final quarter, with the last 60 seconds calling this ball game. It was tied at 62 with 45 seconds left. And then a foul sends Trenton Russell to the line, 62-62. The first is good. The second rings out, but the Magawa County Hornets have a 1-point lead. A few ticks later, Pikeville still has the ball, and off the inbounds, they've got 15 seconds to work with to try to come up with a winner to end it for Pikeville and take a 2-0 route of the Hornets this season, but it would not happen. Magawa County's defense held them in the final few seconds, and it indeed was a 63-62 win. A close one, but a win is a win. A big win for Magawa County.
So that indeed is it for the Hornets. I thought that there was to be another road game on the schedule, and there may have been. That may have changed. Nevertheless, that is wrapping up. That game wrapped up the regular season for the boys last night, and of course that means they are going on to the district, as is everyone else in the 57th, starting this coming Monday here in Magawa County. Tomorrow, I'm venturing up to the high school. I'm going to talk to everyone there who wants us to help them get the information out about how the tournament's going to work. It's a new venue, more parking and more seating, but still it's new, and there are going to be a few things they're going to try to do to make sure that everyone gets in and gets out as comfortably and safely, of course, as possible. So look for that on tomorrow night's program. Then we'll, of course, be going through your lineup as well one more time or a couple of times this week, but more in district tournament tomorrow. The Lady Hornets, they've also wrapped up their regular season as well. They did on Monday night on the road at Menifee County. They fell short by 9, and that wraps up their season pretty much at the halfway mark, 9-18, 1-5 in the district. And they, of course, are taking on the Lady Tigers in the first round on Monday night here in Magawa County. More on those matchups and other district tournament action when we talk about that on tomorrow night's program. Which leaves me time to talk about your weather forecast. I've got some other reports that we're working on that will make tomorrow's news, but for now, let's take a look as to what's in store. And indeed, some warmer air, high pressure ruling the roost throughout the end of the week. A bit of a low could give us a bit of a shot of some showers over the course of the weekend. Right now, not a big shot, though.
And once again, all just going to maybe add some potential fuel to the fire for forest fires. Forest fire hazard season started today, runs to the end of April. No burning between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And then, of course, we're all asked to just use some good old-fashioned common sense when we are burning during the allowed hours. I clocked the wind. It's been a while, but 17 miles per hour was the biggest peak I've had here at the newsroom this afternoon. Right now, I've got one coming directly out of the west at 4 miles per hour, and we'll see those 3 to 7 mile per hour winds continue for the next little bit. We'll also see a low 42 and falling right now. We should bottom out right around 25 degrees for nighttime lows on your Wednesday evening, Thursday morning. Tomorrow, the sun makes another return. That wind still coming out of the west at 3 to 8 miles per hour, but 45, much like today, maybe a little lighter on the wind tomorrow, I'm hopeful. But much like today, we'll see mid-40s, up mid to upper 20s for nighttime lows, but a steady improvement that takes a big jump by Friday, where we'll see sunny skies, temperatures pushing 60 degrees, nighttime lows close to our daytime highs for today and yesterday at 42 Friday night. But just basically sunny, mostly clear that night, winds out of the west, southwest, still 5 to 7 maybe. And watch the warming trend continue. Right now, Saturday, a 30% chance of showers, but there is a but here. It's not until mainly after 4 or 5 o'clock that afternoon, and it's still only a 30% to start with, maybe a 40% by the overnight time frame. So 63 and partly sunny to start off your Saturday and your weekend. And the good news is that those showers should be gone by early Sunday, say up until maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and thereafter we should see another partly sunny day in the low to close to mid-60s. And yeah, President's Day is going to be a nice one. Anyone lucky enough to have this day off should enjoy near 70 degrees, near 50 for nighttime lows, and basically just a mostly sunny, mostly perfect, albeit winter day. Yeah, it's still winter, folks. It's not over yet, but man, we're not going to have to worry about it for at least a little while. And I've still got 67 on your Tuesday, 63 still by midweek next week. Man, that's just nice. Not unheard of, but, certainly not the norm. Kentucky weather, gotta love it.
That'll do it for tonight. Thank you for watching and being a part of our program. We hope to see you back here next time for more of Your News Today.